Hola Madridistas, welcome to our preview for the Osasuna game. Joining me today is our usual staple, the ever-present Farooq. Also, we have a very special guest joining us today, who is none other than the number one Osasuna fan in the UK, Kevin. Kevin,
Hey, all right.
yeah, tell us how you're doing and why you are the number one Osasuna fan.
Well, you don't really find a lot of Osasuna fans in the UK. They're all based in Navarra, Pamplona. But happy to represent Los Rojillos in this part of the world. And actually, they have fans sort of all over, which always surprises me. But I wouldn't call myself the number one fan. You said that, but I'll take that title. Yeah. But yeah, really good to be here again.
How about you, Farooq? You're probably like the number one fan in Milan right now for Real Madrid. So,
I think that's actually very generous of you. I thought you were gonna go a bit down and say like you're the number one fan in your room. I was gonna be okay. I will take that as long as it's number one. It doesn't matter if it's in my room, in my area, in my house, or whatever. But yeah, Milan, that's a fair one, man. That's a fair one. And honestly, yeah, I'm good, man. Honestly, it's been a tiring couple of days and weeks for me actually, but finally got some rest and back, and also the game against Napoli as well. Honestly, for me was like and a boost, like an injection to my veins, and honestly, yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. What about
yeah.
you, Jacob? You good?
Oh, yeah, man. Thanks for asking, and so that I don't feel left out. Yeah, I'm pretty good. I wanted to join you guys for the Napoli post match, but then I was traveling. But then I caught the game. Yeah, really good feelings. Feel like Carlos sent out a message about what his starting lineups are gonna be for the rest of the season. So yeah, feeling good, pretty good about it. But
Yeah,
yeah,
bro,
man,
definitely.
let's like come back and the last time all three of us were together, we were all full of hope from the Real Madrid side of things. We are just heading into the Copa del Rey and staring Man City in the face, hoping for a good result on the second leg. But yeah, Farooq, things did not go as expected. Yeah, and
Yeah, bro.
but
Unfortunately.
but did actually winning the Copa del Rey mean anything to you? Were you happy with that season?
Man, I mean, in my whole life of watching Real Madrid, I think we won the Copa twice, 2014 with Gareth Bale and what happened, and then Mourinho in 2012. I think that's the only two times I watched it. The victory, maybe you can correct me, Jacob, but I think that's the only one. And then it happened last year, so like it's an unusual and a weird feeling to win the Copa actually, because I personally like I used to have roommates who was a deep Messi and Barcelona fan, so I used to ridicule him for like celebrating the Copa. So for me, it kind of felt like, I could do better, but then something is better than nothing. So I don't know if that answers your question, but yeah, it is what it is, man.
Ah, anyways, but Kevin, like the Copa del Rey
Yeah.
actually meant something to you. It was a really good run from your team. Tell us your
Yeah.
feelings. How was the match overall for you? What was the repercussions of the match? Yeah, talk to us.
I think now that it's been a while, obviously, since the final, but on reflection and looking back, it was Osasuna. Realistically,
Hold
would
on.
they have at the
I
start of the
just
previous season? Um,
lost audio on my
um,
headphones. Let
no
me
worries.
switch it up.
Um, and if you said to them that you reached the Copa del Rey final, they would have, taken that immediately. And obviously, we got to the final against Madrid. Realistically, were we expecting to win it? Probably not. But we had got to the final. We had knocked out some big teams. So there was always the glimmer of hope. And obviously, as you mentioned there, Real Madrid had the Man City game sort of a few days later. So it was always possible that something crazy could happen. Unfortunately, obviously, Osasuna didn't win, but again, really proud of the team having made it to the final. They could be proud. Hopefully, it's a bit of a stepping stone to sort of try and achieve good things this season too, and just give the team and the squad a bit of hope that yes, they can succeed. So yeah, on reflection, yeah, you got to take the positive, I suppose. And yeah, the team can be proud, and yeah, looking forward to this season. Really, I suppose.
Yeah, this season is something to look forward to. Yeah, you actually had some signings, at least some loans and stuff, a couple of departures as well. So among the arrivals, who really excites you? I know you signed Raul Garcia permanently. The rest of the guys, they're on loan, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah, I mean, Osasuna's transfer market is usually loanees, free agents, that kind of thing. But in terms of Raul Garcia, yeah, he came from Betis for like £5 million or €5 million. So that's in Osasuna's sort of world. That's fairly significant, to be honest. So it's still early on in the season. He's a centre forward. I don't think he's scored as of yet, to be fair, but he's putting in good performances, and the manager's starting him, so that always says a lot. So yeah, excited to see sort of how he develops. We had Abde. Obviously, he was a loanee from Barcelona. He went back to Barca, and now he's at Real Betis. He was a really exciting player for us, and he was quite crucial in that Copa del Rey run. So it was a shame to see him go. But they've brought in a loanee from, I think it's Villarreal, Mojica. He's a winger, but he plays defensively too. He's had good flashes of sort of skill of dribbling down that left hand side. So it's a shame that he's only going to be here for a season, but who knows? It may lead to a signing. But he seems quite as an exciting signing for the club. I suppose the other significant signings is in defence. We Aridane, who you may remember with the big hair,
Yeah.
he's unfortunately departed, but he was quite a crucial as part of that centre back pairing with David Garcia. So it's a shame to have seen him gone, but we've replaced him with Catena, who's a centre back. He's come from Rayo Vallecano. Rayo had a really good season last year, and Catena was at the centre of that defence. He started most of our games this season, so excited as well to see how Catena sort of fits in and
Wait,
sort of
how did that dynamic work?
progress.
So Aridane, he actually went to Rayo, and you just guys
No,
got
sorry,
Catena.
I'm not sure where Aridane signed. So I think it was another, possibly a La Liga Segunda team. But we got the Catena from Rayo. We signed him on a free. He's proved quite solid, to be fair. So fairly happy with that replacement. Shame to see Aridane go, but players come and go, I suppose. And yeah, Catena doing a good job so far. And then, yeah, they're probably the significant signings this season. So early stages of the season to see how they're sort of panning out. We'll see what we may need come January. But so far, the squad is mostly unchanged. So, yeah, I suppose just building on the solid sort of squad we had last season.
Kike
Yeah, Kevin,
Garcia
speaking of
left as
going
well,
and
right?
coming,
Yeah,
oh,
go ahead.
sorry, Jacob. Actually, like you were actually, the last time we spoke, you were actually quite, you had very strong, feelings towards, David Garcia, and you actually worried that he was going to leave or something like that. I
Yeah.
actually was, because you mentioned, and I actually was, looking out for that. Why I see nothing happened. Like, why did Garcia, remain at the team? Given obviously we even last season we saw like how good and integral he was to, Osasuna. Like, I was thinking, maybe one of those teams who are like competing, maybe the Sociedads or the Bilbaos might want to snap him up. I don't know how did that happen though.
I mean, last season he made his debut for Spain. Again, really solid season. So he put his name on the map. I suppose maybe the right offer didn't come in for whatever reason, or Osasuna wanted to keep him for three more years. But I'm happy that he's still an Osasuna player. He's quite important there in defence. If he builds on last season, continues to be successful in that role, and perhaps a Bilbao or a Sevilla or even Atletico Madrid or somebody comes around and puts quite a good transfer fee in, then who knows what would happen. But yeah, for now he's an Osasuna player. He's still an Osasuna player. So yeah, that's it's important Osasuna kept him, actually, as almost as important as making a signing, to be fair. So yeah, it's great player.
Totally, man. I totally agree with you. Like keeping Garcia is, as good as making a new signing, honestly.
So the last time we faced against each other, did Chimi Avila actually play, or was he injured? Is he healthy now?
He's fit. He's fit at the moment. He a couple of matches ago we played Atletico Madrid. He got sent off quite unfairly, to be fair. I don't think the referee had it wasn't really a good game for La Liga and La Liga officials, to be honest, because his sending off was quite unfair. But he was served a suspension against Alaves. I think he'll be available for Real Madrid. So from that side of things, yeah, he'll be available. So he hasn't started many games. He normally comes on as like an impact substitution, but it's possible he may start against Madrid on Saturday. So he is injury free currently.
Good to know. Man, but Farooq, Kevin was touching up upon this. He said in La Liga, it's probably like never a good day for referees. And we saw that in the Champions League as well. I didn't catch your post-match comments on that. Do you have anything to say now?
Yeah, like I was just saying, after the whole shenanigans that happened at the weekend as well, and then we come to the Champions League, and then it's basically, I don't know if Kevin saw the whole thing that actually, got me crazy was the fact that, Nacho was basically falling on the ground and the ball hit his arm, and it's a pen. And my question is, how, do you quantify? Because we were being to, at least what we know is that when your arm is extended from your body and makes your body bigger, which gives you an unfair advantage against the other player, then that's why it becomes a pen. But this one is basically falling in free fall. He has no control over his arm, How do you justify that to be a pen, Except you want him to cut his arms off? Like, I mean, we should just ask players to cut their arms off before they come onto the pitch. Like, other than that, there is no justification. And right now, we don't know what a pen is or what a pen isn't. It's a very, very subjective call these days, So it's really, really crazy that, we have VAR and everything there, but the refs are so inconsistent and, so I don't know. And my biggest issue is that no one holds him accountable, No one holds, like, it's basically, as you said, like, Kevin, you made a reference to the train workers earlier that they just decide to go and, nothing happens and you just have to be late for work. Similarly, like, the referees are just a mafia that, okay, yeah, we missed the goal, yeah, you lose 3 points. And my point has always been that this goal scored or this goal scored, conceded actually make people lose jobs. You miss Champions League based on 1-2 points, you drop to relegation and lose the finances based on 1-2 points, which are those, that has been, out. So I feel like similar ways that players and coaches are being held responsible, referees also have to be held responsible because like enough is enough, honestly. Like it's just getting out of hand these days.
Yeah, I did see I missed the game, but I did see that moment. I think it hits his leg first, doesn't it, and then hit his arm. So how that's a handball, I don't know, to be honest with you. Very unfair, and yeah, not a good image for the referees at all. And as he said, there needs to be some sort of action or consequence. Unfortunately, I don't think there will be, but. I suppose from Real Madrid's point of view, they did win the game. So 3 points. It should have been 3-1, not 3-2, I suppose.
Yeah.
But that sort of thing. Just on the handball rule in general, I think we just need some sort of clarity on what the law is and what the interpretation is, and just set a standard in the Champions League and in the leagues. Just so there's no ambiguity, because I think it was Osimhen who actually hit the ball against Nacho. He was expecting a corner. He wasn't even expecting the penalty. So when the referee went to the VAR screen, even all of Napoli and the Napoli fans must have thought, okay, like what's going on here, sort of thing. So yeah, that's enough, really. That even the Napoli fans didn't really think they would be getting a penalty from that. But
Yeah.
you know, what can you do?
Let's just hope, the next game is gonna be relatively controversy free, because anyways, like you can't keep both the set of fans happy, but yeah, let's see how it goes. Before we
Yeah, man.
head into the matchups and how Osasuna are gonna be lining up, let's just go through some comments. So Prince Arthur, he says, I'm watching from the USA. Where's the lineups? Hey Prince Arthur, we're just heading into the lineups. Hope you've been patient and you're still here in the stream. Sunit says Mojica is a very exciting player to watch. Yeah. Ashik says, what up, Osasuna, baby? Sorry, I mean Real Madrid. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, but it's Osasuna are never a straightforward opponent, or is there like a lot of Real Madrid fans think that it's going to be easy going. At the end of the day, we're probably going to get the points, but it's not going to be easy.
I mean, statistically, Osasuna haven't beaten Madrid since God knows when in the league, if I'm honest, and possibly away at the Santiago Bernabeu is one of the hardest fixtures for Osasuna, statistically and historically, to be fair. So I think Osasuna's priorities this season is probably not to beat Real Madrid, it's to look beyond Madrid. I think after Madrid, we play Granada and Betis, and those sorts of, they're the matches that Osasuna need to focus on. Madrid, if we get a draw, if we even get a win, that's a total sort of bonus for us. We as fans, we want to go to Bernabeu, and as you said, we want to give you a hard time. We want to fight and actually, show that we're a good team and not, be trounced 3-4-0. We want it to be at least a close contest. But I think, as you said, you guys would probably take the points, but if we can make it difficult for you, and if we can even, maybe nick a draw or something, then that's a big plus for us. But as I said, history says that I think Real Madrid will take 3 points. And that's as a fan, speaking pessimistically. And I think all fans are pessimists. So yeah, I'm got a bit of hope, but at the same time, it's Real Madrid away. It's one of our hardest fixtures, so let's be realistic too.
Yeah, as the name of the podcast suggests, like we are real here.
Exactly.
Actually, Kevin, like I would just like to take your own perspective, as a fan of a different team in La Liga. Like how have you seen Jude Bellingham so far? Like are you as smitten as everyone, especially Sunaidi's, with the young English lad?
I think if the game's 0-0 and it's 95th minute and Jude Bellingham's around the box about to grab his 1-0 last minute goal, I'll be very worried. But yeah, I think I'm actually quite surprised the way he's fit in, coming to the team. He's so young, all that confidence. Real Madrid, one of the biggest clubs in the world, and he's just sort of taken it upon him to sort of lead the club. I think it's nice to see. I think since the departures of Ronaldo, Messi, Benzema, even Suarez, Neymar, the La Liga needs this new star, and I think hopefully Bellingham is that. So exciting to see. He's a really nice footballer to watch and play football. So from that point of view, it's quite a joy to watch, and just comes across really well as well. And it seems like all of Madridistas like him. I know it's a tough fandom to win over. Their own players are often booed if things aren't going particularly well. It seems the total opposite with Bellingham. So it's good to see him sort of succeed, to be fair. And I don't know if he's a striker, if he's a midfielder, if he's defensive, if he's what, but Carlo seems to be playing him in all sorts of positions, and he seems to be doing really well. I mean, against Napoli, he got the goal and an assist. So yeah, he's hit the ground running. I read somewhere that he's hitting better numbers than Cristiano did when Cristiano came to Madrid. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's crazy when you think about it.
Yeah, and he's slowly starting to make a dent in the UCL as well. Some crazy stats. Yeah. The only thing is that can he sustain this? Do you actually think he can sustain this?
I think so. I don't see why not. If he stays fit, if Vinicius stays fit and has the support there for him and Rodrigo, then I think with those players around him, you know, the expectation on him now is to score every game. And he wasn't brought in to be a goal scorer, really. So when he doesn't score, now it's as if he's had a bad game, which that's the sort of level he's set. But I think he can sustain sort of the form he's in. He's the way he's just sort of come into the team and hit the ground running. There's no reason why sort of he can't maintain it now for the rest of the season, or at least for 80% of it. So yeah, that's sort of the way I sort of see it.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, actually, Kevin, like one question I would like to pose to you is that you talk about the fact that is he a striker, is he a midfielder though? But I most likely want to think that you also have seen a bit of his exploits at Borussia Dortmund. But don't you see like there is a kind of a difference there? Like, and as you said as well, the relative he is quite new to the team as well. Like, don't you think that's going to be like a hindrance going forward because he's a player who scored max 9 league goals throughout his career, and right now he's averaging more than a goal a game or something like that. Like, then he's someone who is a midfielder by trade, like, because this is an argument that we always have back and forth. But I was just thinking, what's your perspective? Like, do you think, like, even other than away from the performances, do you think he can keep, scoring the goals?
I think if he keeps, because I think Ancelotti's putting him in quite forward positions. If he stays in those sorts of positions, Real Madrid have a lot of midfielders, so there's not space for all of them. So I think if he plays up front with Joselu, that could happen, or just behind him. I think, and with Vinicius and Rodrigo either side of him, there's no reason why he can't keep scoring. To be honest, even a goal every other game, I think statistically it's would be very good. And it's not just scoring; he's in the midfield, intercepting balls, giving assists as well. So he sort of how Vinicius sort of started last season. He was just scoring and linking up with Benzema really well, and he managed to sustain that for most of the season. So yeah, Bellingham is a world-class player. We can see that now. He's got the talent. I think Ancelotti is a good coach. Will help him sort of see his way through the season. And so yeah, I think he can sustain that level. He did it at Dortmund. I didn't watch him too much at Dortmund, if I'm honest, but from what I've seen so far of Madrid, we're in week 8, week 9 now of the league, and he's done it since August, since the league started. So that's already shown that he's done it for that amount of time. Why can't he do it now until Christmas, now until sort of in the January onwards? But time will tell, I suppose. La Liga is different to the Bundesliga, so the demands are different in Madrid than they were at Borussia Dortmund. So these things will come into play as well, I suppose. But from your guys' point of view, long may it continue, I suppose.
Definitely. All right. Farooq, Ashik has a comment. It's basically referring to you promising him a jersey. So he says, I'm predicting a Joselu hat trick. So just for context, Kevin, while we were in the early parts of the season, I think it was against Athletic Bilbao. So Farooq basically said, if Joselu scores a hat trick, I'll get you any jersey you want. And then Ashik, our viewer, he said he wants his Turkish Super League jersey. Or maybe even a Nigerian jersey. You think he can make it happen,
I mean,
Farooq?
that's definitely. I mean, come on, the Joselu scores the hat trick, man. I'm calmly shipping out the Euros and sending him the jersey, whichever one he wants, man.
Mm,
I mean, if he wants a Nigerian jersey, even better, man. We can, the Nigerian jersey is much more easier to find than a Yanis Sagi's jersey, honestly.
right, right. No, but do you feel like that bet is like still very safe? Because the first time we played Joselu, it wasn't we didn't really trust him too much. We weren't expecting him to get a lot of goals. But he's like Sunes says in the comments, he says, Joselu has grown on me, not gonna lie. Is that the same feeling? Do you feel like your bet is still safe?
Uh, I mean, I will give you the answer that you guys have heard before on the podcast. I listened and Mo said something other. He said like, Jose Luis bad with his feet. When he's given time to make decisions, he fumbles it. But when you just put him in a chance where he just has to shoot or hit the ball without too much time for area for thinking, that's what happens. Because I mean, we've seen with Jose like he gets chances and he just doesn't take those chances. But then again, this is the person he's like this is the limitation he has. Like, am I worried Jose is going to score a hat trick? Honestly, I am not. I feel like my money is so safe. It's even safer than putting it in the bank, man.
Wow. There you go, folks. I mean, I hope for Ashik's sake, Joselu proves you wrong. But yeah, let's go. So Ashik also says here, Kevin, he has basically a quote for you. So he says, "You forget we have no defense. We are putting spare parts to form a makeshift defense, and Osasuna has a solid chance. Plus, we have Kepa in net, so keep the crosses coming, and we are toast."
Yeah, I mean, Osasuna that is the style of play really. Down the wings, put the ball into the box, and then you've got Budimir there, Chimi to try and sort of header it in. So I think Real Madrid will have a lot of the ball. You'll have the majority of the possession for sure. But I think going forward, one of the ways of attack and scoring will be Osasuna putting in balls into the box. So if that's sort of a weakness potentially in Real Madrid's defence, I'm sure Arrasate, the coach, will be aware of that. True, it's not Courtois in goal, it's Kepa. So there's another sort of angle there to potentially exploit. Um, so yeah, that's I guess that's a plus for Osasuna. If crossing is a weakness for Real Madrid, crossing is something that part of Osasuna's gameplay for sure. So yeah, that could potentially work.
Yeah, just for reminding all of the Madrid fans also who are listening, Nacho is out for this game, and right now in defense, who do we have? We just have Rudiger. Alaba is injured. Carvajal is thankfully fit and ready. We have Mendy at left back, but God knows if he'll play at centre back against Osasuna. It remains to be seen. But Farooq, I guess this is a good point, to go in and see who can we actually play at centre back.
I think this is actually a good thing to bet. If Ashik is there, like what do we want to put on the line? I think this is a very very. I think it's something because the thing is, you. I mean, my money would be on Phil and Mendy playing as a CB. But the point again is that I don't know, maybe Chouameni also comes in there. Who knows? Like as been pointed out in the past, Carvalho once played as a fullback in emergency against Chelsea in the Champions League, if I'm not mistaken. So these are all options, and I mean Chouameni is also someone that can although I don't think I've ever seen him play CB. I don't know. Maybe he played. Maybe during his earlier formative years. Maybe Chouameni is also someone that can partner that with Rudiger as well. And also, there's always a wild card of the youngster. Like what was his name? Like I forgot the name. There was a young CB that was added to the squad.
Was it Marvel?
So
Not Marvel.
I think it was Marvel. No, was it? No, I think Marvel went out alone. I'm not sure. I can't remember exactly the name. But the Castilla player can also be a wild card there. Honestly. So that's the thing. But honestly, like the thing is, even with all our players' feet, we always struggle with the set pieces and crosses. Where anyone who watches the game against Atletico understands what the whole gist is about. That's why even the game against Osimhen at Napoli was even much more interesting, given the way Rudiger marshaled Victor Osimhen. So I really don't know what's gonna happen, but one thing for sure is if you guys can bombard crosses, with the makeshift center back pairing and Kepa who has never been dominating in the box, yeah, it's Christmas for you guys if you can keep crossing, man.
Yeah, I mean, So, Kevin, if you were Arasate and you know Real Madrid don't just have one center back in the squad right now, uh, what is your preferred lineup going to be just to maximize the number of crosses and the players who get to it?
I think, yeah, you'd probably play like a 4-3-3, to be fair, which is something that Arteta does typically has put out this season. He's changed it here and there, but against Atletico Madrid, didn't go our way, that result. But it was a 4-3-3. So I think up front is going to be between Budimir and Raul Garcia, that new signing. I think Budimir he's scored quite a couple of goals this season already. So I think he'd start him. To be fair, Osasuna have scored, I think it's 9 goals this season, and 9 of those goals have been scored by 8 different scorers. So it could be there's not one sort of threat, if you like. The goal could come from midfield, it could come from the wingers, it could come from the fullbacks, it could come from the striker. I don't know as a fan sort of who's going to be scoring the goal, but typically you'd say it's Budimir, which is our Budimir, which is our centre forward, and he scored for us in our sort of European qualifiers, and he's scored a couple this season, as I said. So I think Arasate will put him up front, quite physical. We need to match sort of the physicality of Rudiger if Rudiger's going to be playing. So I think, yeah, one centre forward, and then you'd have your 2 wingers. So it would be, I think, possibly Chimi Avila or Mojica, either side. It could be Ruben Garcia or Jose Arnaiz. They're the sort of front players we have, and they're quite versatile. They can play central, they can play wide. So I think from Osasuna's point of view, yeah, they'll be looking at that to try and be quite versatile in attack. And all of those players have scored goals this season. So, there's definitely options there. But I think, yeah, your 2 wingers and crossing balls in to the centre forward. They can also drift inside too and play centrally. So yeah, there is definitely versatility there. But because of the threat of Madrid, potentially Albacete could play a bit more defensive, maybe a 4-4-2. So, as I said, you guys will have a lot of the possession. I think it wouldn't surprise me if you guys end up with 60-65% possession throughout the game. So, even maybe more than that. So, I think potentially just the 2 strikers up the front as well. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. But every lineup is a little bit different. Formation's more or less the same. So the 4-3-3, but lineups do tend to be different. But I think he'll go with Budimir to start.
Right. When you say that there are 8 different scorers already this season, that is low-key scary when we have no center backs. But
they've only got 1 goal each. Don't worry. But 8 different scorers. Yeah, I don't know what that says in terms of if we need just one scorer to sort of, have the responsibility to put the ball on the net, or it's that responsibility is sort of spread throughout the team. So yeah, the threat could come from anywhere. I can't say for sure Budimir's going to score goals or Chimi's going to score the goal. It could be a set piece. It could come from anything if we do score. So that's sort of, in my mind, sort of how it would play out.
right. Farooq, just to combat all of these crosses, Ashik says he has a plan. I want to get your opinions on it. So he says, I say play 3-5-2, shore up the midfield, Mendy, Rudiger, and Danny at the back, but Danny can't go forward.
What? Mendy, Rudiger, and Danny as the 3 centre backs? Oh, boy, I don't buy this, man. I don't buy this at all, bro. I don't, because he says shore up the midfield. When you do this, then you have to play Fran Garcia and Lucas Vasquez on the wings as the wing backs, and you have just 3 midfield spots. when we consider we're gonna play, a whole, I don't know, Vinicius and Joselu or Vinicius and Rodrigo, then you're left with three midfielders. One of them is Chouameni, and then you have two other midfield spots. So I don't think you're actually showing up the midfield. I don't think.
The
I
midfield is
don't
going to
think
stay
you're
the
showing
same,
up the
but
midfield there.
if both the wing backs can support the midfield, I feel like that's a decent shout.
But
But
my question to you is that do you think Frank Garcia and Lucas Vasquez can support? I mean, yeah, okay, they can throw in the crosses and what is not. But again, it goes back to the fact that if you don't play Joselu, then what's the point of crossing eventually? Because you have just Vinicius and Rodrigo there. It's going to be very difficult for them to combat area. Okay, yeah, Jude goes in from time to time, but then that's the thing. And then we have also a deficiency defensively from both Lucas Vasquez and Frank Garcia is also. For me, I just don't think it's worth taking the gamble. Like, okay, if you had 3 feet centre backs, or rather 2 feet centre backs, maybe let's say Rudiger and Alaba or Rudiger and Nacho, I'll say okay, play that gamble by playing Mendy there or Dani there as a 3 CB. But with 1 CB and 2 fullbacks, I think it's too much of a gamble.
Exactly, like I like the midfield part of this in a 3-5-2, but when we literally have no centre backs, it's not probably a good idea to have 3 centre backs. So
exactly, bro. I mean, especially combination of these 3 that he proposed. Sorry, shit, man. I ain't buying that, man.
I mean, he says, remember, Brazil in 1970 essentially played a 5-3-2. It's not the formation; it's how you utilize the formation. But
okay, yes, talk that when you actually have a coach who knows how to utilize shit, man. Like, I mean, I don't know, man.
So yeah, Kevin, for context, Farouk is our resident Carlo Ancelotti doubter. What do you think about Ancelotti so far? Do you think he can actually win a few trophies this season or no?
I think so, to be fair. You have to look at the opposition and what Barcelona and Atletico Madrid are doing, and they look quite strong, to be fair. But at the same time, Madrid are top of the league, I think. So you can't rule them out either. Ancelotti's been in this position many times, sort of top of the league with a squad that's relatively strong. Maybe in a bit of a transition, I don't know. I don't know if the rumours about him going at the end of the season is if there are rumours or if it's true or not. That could potentially disrupt the dressing room, maybe. But yeah, I think in terms of what Ancelotti has achieved in the second stint at Madrid, I mean, every fan is always going to question their manager and sort of think, have they got this right? Have they got that right? At the same time, they're in that job for a reason. There's not an easy job to keep and maintain. Florentino Perez has kept him there. There's not really a lot of other options in the market, I would say, at this moment in time. I think he can achieve something, whether it's another Copa del Rey or La Liga. Champions League, I think, will be difficult, but who knows? Real Madrid is the Champions League. It's something that they always seem to find a way in. So as the game in Naples, for example. So I think it's too early to say he's gonna. At the moment, you can say he can achieve something and win some silverware. I think it's too early to say he can't. Basically, so I would keep the faith a little longer.
Yeah, I mean, keeping the faith. To defend Farouk, yeah, he always says Ancelotti can get the results. He can get the squad motivated to do great things. It's just that when it comes to experimentation, it becomes very sketchy on his part, and we don't really feel like he has it in him anymore tactically to pull a lot of these formations off. Anyways,
Well,
I guess it's a good time to segue into the Real Madrid lineups, right? So forward line, it's gonna be pretty simple, but still we have a choice. Maybe Kevin, you can chip in with this. So who do you
sure.
think? Who would you rather not face, right? So it's obviously Vinicius has to start. Who would you not rather face, Joselu or Rodrigo?
From my view, I'd rather not face Rodrigo. I think Joselu would be to be fair, he's done all right, and I think the comment was before he surprised a lot of people. He has surprised me. He has got a lot of chances. He has missed a lot of chances too, but he's come from a team where he, chances were far and few between, but he still managed to find a way to score. In Madrid, he now finds himself sort of in front of goal more times as I suppose what he's used to previously. But I think Joselu would be the better player from Osasuna's perspective to face. You can mark him, you know what he's going to do, you know what you can expect from him. Rodrigo's he's got pace, he can score, he can dribble. He a bit like a Vinicius. Is going to be difficult to handle. In my mind, is Vinicius 100% fit now? Is he going to start, or do you think he is? Yeah. So that's not good for us. So yeah, if listen, you're going to the Bernabeu, you're going to be playing. You have to be ready to face a strong team, whether it's Vinicius on the left or whoever else. So I would, rather face Joselu. Osasuna know what team more or less Real Madrid will probably be putting out, so they'll be ready to an extent. But previously, Vinicius has found success against Osasuna, so I'm sure there'll be more of the same. If you look, I guess if you want to talk about, say, the midfield, I think Bellingham, he hasn't played Osasuna yet, but maybe Osasuna are a little bit new to facing him. They won't really know what to expect, what his role's going to be, who's going to be marking him. He's that kind of player, I suppose. So I think he'll be the one to look out for. I think on Saturday, the Vinicius, you can, as I said, you know what you're going to expect. Bellingham, you don't really, to be fair. So we'll see how that duel plays out.
Right. Like you said, it's kind of easy to predict the forward line. It's either probably going to be Rodrigo, since we want to get him into form, and probably like facing Osasuna as the match to get him back scoring. But Farouk, what is not predictable is our midfield. Who do you think is going to line up?
I think again, we can expect to see Tchouaméni. I think again I'm expecting to see again Toni Kroos. Because I think the midfield already is starting to take shape, and also with the absence of I don't know, we have fullbacks, but their deficiencies actually and what Camavinga brings in that position, because I think honestly he is better than whatever it is that the other players have to offer right now, at least. So I think we will see, Kroos, Tchouaméni, and Fede and Jude at the tip of the diamond, as similar to the past, 2 games.
You don't think anyone needs rest? This midfield has been playing quite a few minutes now.
Yeah, actually, that's the thing. I think like these guys can keep pushing. I actually think they can. But Cruz is the player I think might want to get the rest. In place of Modric, and we're playing at home, so I think Modric might start in place of Cruz in that position. But I wouldn't be too surprised to see the same midfield 4 again. Honestly, when Modric coming as an impact sub.
Yeah, that's a good shout.
Because the thing is, like when you see we have the international break coming as well, so Cruz is basically going nowhere. He's gonna get all the rest that is needed. So this is also another thing that has to be considered.
Very true. I mean, I
guess. I think as I said, Real Madrid will have a lot of possession of the ball. So I think people like Cruz and sort of maybe Tchouaméni and Modric, there'll be guys that you'd want to have that kind of game where they're going to be passing the ball a lot, sort of forward, left, right. Somebody to find a way through the defense, because Osasuna will play quite defensively, I think, and look to counter. A lot of our players, obviously with Abde gone, as I said, he was quite a pacey player. We don't really have too much pace, to be fair, to hit you on the counter attack, but we do have players that can sort of pass their way out of situations and play good long balls. I think the player from my view who you don't want to be facing is Camavinga at this moment in time. He seems to have gone up 2 or 3 levels from last season. So he's quite he'll be quite a fearsome player to face, quite a physical player too. So yeah, he'll be one that again Alasati will be quite mindful of, how he's contained and managed, because it seems that he can play on the left centrally and maybe even pop up on the right now and again. So yeah, he'll be another threat.
Yeah. Ashik says, let's try Kamavinga at centre back. We haven't tried him there yet, lol. The kid can probably play even goalie. So, Kevin, have you actually seen the Kamavinga memes? He's the Johnny Sins of football now. You
I think
haven't seen it?
any guy with a ponytail is Camavinga there, right? That's what I've seen.
Yeah. Yeah. Kamavinga can play any position. The
Yeah.
place where we haven't seen him yet is at striker and centre back. So anything can happen.
Fingers crossed. In this weekend, we're one centre back short, so yeah, we shouldn't be surprised that Shiki so to the right. Anything can happen.
Yeah. So I guess this is the part where all Madridistas are like still listening in. They want to know what our lineups are going to be for the defensive part of the lineup. So it's anybody's guess, but at this point, Farooq, like, I'll come to you. Who do you think is going to start?
Oh, I think it's gonna be Mendy. I think it's Mendy and Rudiger. Flanked by Camavinga and Dani Carvajal. I think Carvajal is fair game again. So I don't think he's gonna get a rest because it's the international break, so I don't know. And it's a home game at the Bernabeu. So I think it's fair game, between Rudiger and Mendy. I think that's what's gonna happen, and then it's gonna be Carvajal and Kamavinga flanking them. So as I mentioned earlier, it's, as you said, anybody's guess. Like really, like I wouldn't be surprised to see. The surprise would be if it's a Castilla player, but I wouldn't be surprised to see him do some different things and try different things. But yeah, I think it's gonna be Mendy partner Rudiger.
But I guess the takeaway is you don't trust Fran Garcia, especially if Mendy is the centre back.
Kamavinga is a fullback, not Fran Garcia.
Yeah. So I'm just asking, like, the reason why you chose Kamavinga at left back instead of Fran.
I'll choose Kamavinga as a left back instead of all of them because I mentioned in the last game, the thing is that we have two differences. Bellingham is playing deeper, and the fullback is Kamavinga, and there is a difference in the way we play. You can actually see that. Yeah, we're not there yet, but you can actually see the essence of a team there. You can see a performance. Like this is what I've always, my complaint about Rudiger is that, about Bellingham has always been that people always hyping Bellingham up, But the point is, we didn't pay 100 million for Bellingham to score goals. We pay 100 million for him to dictate matches, to take control of the midfield. This last two games at least have been encouraging in the fact that you can see him, working in the middle of the pack, playing a deeper role. Like he's more reminiscent of the Bellingham we knew and loved at Borussia Dortmund, right now. So this is the point I'm trying to make. So what Kamavinga offers as a fullback right now, unfortunately, both Fran Garcia and Ferland Mendy do not offer it. So I think for me, I can understand the frustration of fans with Kamavinga being such a promising young midfielder. But the thing is, right now, this is what the team requires, for functionality because we've been playing everything we've been playing, but none of our midfielders are actually functioning other than Tchouaméni. People will say, okay, this midfield has been built for Bellingham to thrive. But come on, anyone who has eyes and doesn't, okay, yeah, I know football is a game that actually the team that with the most goals win, but that's not be it and easy, You want to see the performances of these players as well, But Bellingham, in my opinion, hasn't lived up to the hype, at least performance-wise. Take away the goals and he's just a bang average midfielder. But the last two performances, he's actually, shown that, yeah, this is what I can do. And that's why, because he's playing a familiar role of, starting on deep and, going further off the pitch. So I think those are the things, the role Kamavinga plays in this is very, very important because when you play a 4-4-2 system, your fullbacks are really crucial to that. And both Fran Garcia and Ferland Mendy, unfortunately, at least so far, haven't shown that they are able to, perform those duties.
Yeah, I think you're spot on. If Kamavinga starts, I'll feel much more happier, at least going forward. Be confident that we can create chances. But yeah, I guess the last position is goalkeeper. I'll come to you, Kevin. So I know that you observed Kepa here and there. You know he has his issues coming out to get the ball. He does not portray a man of confidence. Right now, he gives the ball away every now and then and gives the opponents a lot of chances. So the question is, would you rather have Kepa on your team or Sergio Herrera?
I think I'd rather have Sergio Herrera. Reason being, I think being the goalkeeper for Chelsea, for Real Madrid, it's a completely different role to a team like Osasuna, where your goals on threat sort of more often. Um, Against the previous game with Alaves, Herrera kept us in the match. He made so many sort of one-on-one saves. So he's a good fit for Osasuna. He probably doesn't. He's actually got quite a. If you watch him play, he's got this ego and arrogance about him. Not quite as much as Kepa, to be fair, but which you sort of need that at the back. And I think he sort of calms the defenders. I think Kepa, you don't always know what he's going to do, if he's going to sort of kick the ball long, roll it short, or try and do something clever, and and sort of invite pressure. And that's not something you want as a team like Osasuna. You want to sort of stay solid. I mean, no team really wants that, but I think teams like Real Madrid, you might want a ball playing goalkeeper. Herrera can offer you that, but he's more sort of the solid player. But yeah, I'd have to go. I'd have to go with Kepa. I'd have to go with Herrera and side with the Osasuna player.
I think it speaks about it,
I'm
man. Yeah.
yeah.
The fact that an Osasuna fan says he won't take the Real Madrid starting goalkeeper over his own goalkeeper. So that's where we are at.
I think it's a very political answer from Kevin, though. What honestly, jokes aside, but I mean, he's totally right. Right now the situation with Kepa is not so promising, honestly. Especially as we mentioned about the deficiencies that he has, and the fact that depending on your play style of play, like you cannot necessarily mask those deficiencies. So I think with what they have going on with Sergio Herrera and his abilities to stop penalties as also, I think those are crucial things that you have to take into consideration of the know-how of the team. As Kevin mentioned earlier, like the team has changed, yeah, but the core remains same almost, you can say. So that know-how already exists. So like when you think of a player like Kepa, it's gonna take a bit of work to work around masking his deficiencies and what is not. So yeah, I can understand that. And yeah, it's so sad that we move from a player like Thibaut Courtois, or basically Kevin will will be seen in his dreams
Yeah.
to having.
I mean, it's our opportunity. What was your guys' reaction when Kepa signed? Because it was between Kepa and David De Gea was mentioned as well. What would you have taken De Gea maybe over Kepa, or neither?
Personally, De Gea will not, because I think like De Gea's decline is exaggerated by the English media. I kind of feel like he still has something to offer, at least more than what Kepa Arrizabalaga can offer. Because I mean, the man won the Golden Glove last year. Like it's not like he is total trash. So I kind of feel like I would have taken David De Gea, honestly. But for Kepa, I mean, the reaction we had at least on the pod was that we didn't want Kepa, but the thing is, if he joined, there is nothing we can do but try to support him. That's the only thing.
Yeah.
Because I don't think anyone on the pod, correct me if I'm wrong, Jacob, I don't think anyone on the pod. I mean, we had people, calling for Bono. We had people calling for, the return of Keylor Navas. And then, we also had a small shout for David De Gea, but we actually didn't, think of Kepa as a very, very realistic option. Because then actually, there were reports about him going to Bayern, and he also had advanced discussions with Bayern. And all of a sudden, there was a U-turn, and we were there. So it's not promising, but the thing is, this is what we have, so we just have to find a way through it.
I think it was always quite a really difficult position to fill, because Courtois, who was the hero of last season or the season before, he's gone. A new temporary keeper comes in. As soon as he makes a mistake, or as soon as something happens, the fans and the media is going to be on them. And I don't know if Kepa has made any sort of big howlers this season or not. But he has got a mistake in him. But Madrid do concede goals, and early goals. That's something that I have picked up on. I think Osasuna might look to exploit that first 10 minutes of a match. That's where Real Madrid concede, I feel. So who knows if it will be, if Osasuna may look to just surprise Madrid and take advantage of that first 10 minutes that always seems to be where Madrid are most vulnerable. I don't know why, but you guys always go 1-0 down within the first 10-15 minutes of a game, and then you end up chasing the game and winning the game, but you just make it harder for yourselves. So we'll see if perhaps Saturday goes that way.
Yeah, I mean, Farooq, do you know why? Why we conceded at the start of the game? Because I couldn't figure it out.
Yeah, I think the thing is that like at the beginning of the game, we actually kind of lacked that. There's a bit of lax in concentration, I think, and the opposition team starts very quickly, and they just hit us up, and that becomes like a wake up call for us. But I think it's just all about the issue of concentration, because this is the thing. Like, I mean, you always talk. We will always talk. With Real Madrid fans, is for the past 18 months, there's always been a situation where, like, we play good in bursts, like there is like always a lapse in because even in the game against Napoli, like there was before Modric came on, there was also a lapse in concentration that we actually let them take control of the game, and then all of a sudden, Modric came on, and we kind of regained control. So this is something that actually happens with us. There's always that lapse in concentration because I think it's even against Atletico, you could say we considered just when the game started, and then we considered again immediately after the game restarted. So once the first whistle goes, like, before we get into rhythm, it takes a bit of 5, 10, 15 minutes, so, and opposition fans, try to pounce on those moments. So I just think it's an issue of concentration, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Right. In the comment section, I see a lot of Kepa slander. Since I'll just read out one comment. We can't do more than that because the man already has his work cut out for him. We as fans, at the least we can do is like cheer him on as he makes saves and try to forget that we're missing Courtois. So Ashik says, when De Gea was mentioned, we thought of a fax machine. When Kepa was mentioned, we gave up on the Zamora. Yeah, but that's the last of it.
That's true, man.
No more Kepa slander on the spot. Right, man. I guess that pretty much wraps it up. You guys want to go with your predictions? Kevin, let's go with you first.
I think Osasuna will score a goal, but ultimately, I do think Madrid will clinch it. I will say 2-1 Madrid.
And Bellingham's going to be one of the scorers?
I think Bellingham will score both goals.
Both goals, wow. How about you, Farooq?
Yeah, I think we're also going to consider. I also go with a narrow 2-1 victory again.
2-1 victory. It's always a safe bet with the current Real Madrid. So just to like freshen things up, I'm gonna say we're gonna win 3-0, guys. Come on, let's go. And Kepa is gonna have a fucking amazing game.
No comments, bro. No comments. You're setting yourself up for disappointment, man.
Yeah, I just hope nobody clips that, and for the post match, I might like see something happening. But Ashik says his prediction he says it can't be a 2-1 because Joselu is scoring a hat trick. Has to be there.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, then. Okay, we can take your own description then, Jacob. We will take the 3-0 then. Okay, let's see if Joselu can finally deliver, and eventually we can see Ashik in a very nice jersey. Well, yes, let's see.
Right, we will be there, Ashik. I think Saliba has already clipped this part of the joke, so you're going to be held accountable, Farooq.
There's no problem,
Yeah.
There is no problem. I'm a man of my word, man.
That's
say we do, man.
Very true. All right. So before we wrap up, I know 9 of you guys are already here. If you're here, do smash the thumbs up button. It really helps the pod. And if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell because we do schedule post matches and previews pretty late on. So we don't want you to like miss out on all of the awesome content. And We have Kevin here. I believe we have his social media in our description. So go give him a follow, guys. And because what do you tweet about, Kevin? Do you tweet about Osasuna?
Mainly Osasuna and La Liga, really. And yeah, anything sort of football related. So yeah, I try to get involved in any way I can.
All right, yeah. And after that, if you're bored, go check out our shots from all of the fan cams that we shot outside the Bernabeu. It's all on Instagram and YouTube as well. Go check them out. Leave some comments if you like the content over there. And in addition to that, we're on all of the audio platforms. So if you're listening from there, do give the get a take some time to give a review because that really helps us out on Spotify as well. Last but not least, let's take a moment to thank our partners over at Real Madrid Committee. Their Instagram is down in the link below, and you can go give them a follow as well. So yeah, guys, I guess that pretty much wraps it up. Farooq, you know what to say?
So no, before we say that, also let's not forget, like we're finalists on the football, content awards. You can find the links below. You can either vote for on Instagram or you can vote on the website. And on the website, actually, it's great because you can vote multiple times. You just have to find, we're finalists in two categories: the best international podcast and the best international content creator. So please just go to the website or go to the Instagram and just tag us at Let's Be Real 1902, or for the website it's just a drop down link and you select us and that's just it. It takes basically 30 seconds to do all of this. And please tell a friend to tell a friend to tell the enemy of their enemy as well. Whatever just works. Please help us do that, and we really appreciate your support on the first round, and that's how we go to the final. So let's just bring this home, guys. Let's bring this home. And with that, I sign out by saying Hala Madrid.
Yeah, before I say Hala Madrid, I just want to point out a couple of comments to Kevin. So Rajat says, nice, big up to Kevin. Ashik says, it's always nice to have rival fans on the podcast. Good job, guys.
Thank you.
Right, and he also says, good luck, Kevin. Don't be surprised with an Osasuna win. Yeah, something to watch out for.
You know what? I will retract my 2-1 because I shouldn't bet against my team.
Yeah, probably not a good idea.
I will flip it 2-1 Osasuna. We haven't won since 2000. We haven't beat Madrid since 2011 in the league, believe it or not. So it's going to happen. What's that? 12, 13 years later. So 2-1 Osasuna.
Can happen. I'll be there. So are you going to be on for the post match if things go well, Kevin? Or I know you're busy. We'll figure it out.
I'll let you know at full time. Where I'll be.
Right. Yeah. All right then.
Yeah, we'll see in a few days' time.
Yep. Okay, Farooq, you want to say Hala Madrid again? So I'm going to say it.
Hala Madrid, people.
Hala Madrid. Kevin,
I'll post this one now.
Okay.